Good evening, race fans. Oh, hold on. I gotta go to party chat. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to race number 6 of the TFG Championship. We are at Mount Panorama, or also known as Bathurst, to finish out the calendar of the TFG Championship. We'll be getting started very shortly here. So, while we get ready to start qualifying here, I'm going to get some information up, because this is the final race of the TFG Championship. We got to know what's happening in the standings. We got to know how the leaderboards are looking at. We have a lot of new faces tonight. We have OTR Anonymous and LL Mr. Sunshine here tonight. Some regulars in the community. It's always good to see. So, as it turns out right now, it looks like is it mathematically possible for Oliver to still win the championship? I'll have to figure that out during qualifying. Here we go for the 10-minute qualifying session to sort out the grid order for the start of the race. We'll see how this goes. This is Bathurst, so it's going to be a really interesting track. Right now, Oliver and Amoeba really close on points. If Amoeba DNFs tonight, I believe Oliver could still win the championship. Chavez has third place pretty well secured. Now, if we remember from last week, got to know that the ticker up top does not show best lap, it shows their recent lap. So we'll show everybody on. We'll hop on board with Mailman for the first lap, as we can see that big group behind him. Mailman and Anonymous, not Mailman. I mean, Mailman is quick, but not as quick as Sunshine and Anonymous and Amoeba all there. Oh, it's Chavez too. Everyone's there except who's in the back there? I can't even see. I think Anons might be back there. I don't see Anons in the front here. Yeah, what a group of cars going up the hill of Mount Panorama through the tight sweeping left-hander here. It's really hard to get it right. In V8 supercars, it's hard to get it right. In GT cars, it's hard to get it right. In touring cars, it's got to be even more difficult, I would imagine. Start to crest the hill here. Go through this little dip left-hander, sweeping left-hander. It's really hard to get it right. It's really easy to slam to that wall. These Volvos are pretty durable, as we've seen from previous races, as they can take some wall strikes to the sides. But if you're going to dip that nose in wrong and hit a tire wall, it's going to end badly. Now, this is only the first lap, so some of them are sending it, really sending it. You guys might want to back off in the next hot lap, guys, or else it might end poorly. Hop on board with the man leading the pack currently, Mr. Sunshine. Currently holds the top speed of the lobby. We'll have to see who gets the fastest top speed. This is just the outlap, so we'll have to see. Sunshine's still holding the top speed. Amoeba taking it just barely. Here we go, we're rounding out the end of the lap. Last corner. A pretty easy 90 here, but if you're pushing too hard, you can possibly run wide, getting on the gas a little too early. And here we go, the first hot laps are out and started. The grid positions now mean nothing. They are going to change a lot, depending on clean and dirty laps and all that fun stuff. But so far, Sunshine does have the best lap. Oh wait, never mind. Anons has the best lap. My bad. I think it's just dirty. That's why he didn't move up on the ticker. Qualifying is going to show us a lot about these drivers' pace, as once this next hot lap's done, we can really look at that first lap pace, the first hot lap, and start to compare where people are. And what the ticker actually does, which is nice, it shows you the gaps between the previous laps. So if the driver's going red over and over and over again, we can probably say that they're not going to be setting that very consistent lap times. And it's hard to stay consistent at Bathurst. Bathurst is a brutal track to race on. Whoa, Sunshine getting a little close to the wall there with a little bit of a twitch. Pretty beautiful drive so far from Sunshine on this hot lap. Is it going to be enough for provisional pole is the question. As I'm not sure how people really stack up on this track. This group is very diverse, as like Oliver won Bernese Alps by a landslide against Amoeba. Then Amoeba's been beating him consistently throughout the season. We'll have to see. Eva almost with an upset at Rio last week as they had some incidents in the middle of the race. That was a very dramatic, packed race, which is on the YouTube finally. Yeah, that is true. The pace difference at Bathurst is massive, but really it's about consistency at Bathurst, as we'll probably find out. I'm gonna put money on there being a virtual safety car here to throw a wrench into things. So here we go across the line. Sunshine with the best lap so far. We'll have to see if anybody's able to contest that. A 2:10.1 for provisional pole. Anons putting up another time, a pretty decent time. A 2:10.3. Amoeba with a 2:10.6. And Chavez with a 2:12. 2-second difference between the LMP of Amoeba and Chavez. Oliver with the 2:13. Mailman with a 2:16. That's going to round out the grid for now. We'll have to see how this pace plays out. Hop on board with our contestants for first place right now. He's on the front row, but is he going to be able to sneak away pole from Sunshine? We'll also have to watch Amoeba, because Amoeba's really close there in pace. If Chavez is going to be able to pull those 2 seconds down, he may have had a bad lap. Same with Oliver and Mailman. We don't know. The pace difference on Bathurst is so massive. It's anybody's game still. I believe we do have the top 3 pretty spread out. Anons, Sunshine, and Amoeba are kind of in a class of their own in NBR. We'll have to see. They're not immune, is what I'm trying to say. But you can see, look at the pace difference down the hill of Anons compared to Mailman and Oliver. That might be where they're losing a lot of time, is you got to send this car. Chavez? Have I been pronouncing it wrong? I apologize if I've been pronouncing it. Chavez? I apologize if I've been pronouncing that wrong. Amoeba still with the fastest top speed of the session with 172. Chavez? Chavez. Oh, I apologize. I'm really sorry for mispronouncing that. Chavez. Chavez. Okay. I'll correct that. Alright, and here we are. We're about to round out these next set of hot laps. I'm not sure how much time we have left in the session. It's 10 minutes from when we loaded in. So if you can keep that in mind on the YouTube. For Twitch, you're not going to remember. Sunshine with a 2:09, still holding pole. Well, a 2:09.7 with Anons, a 10th down with a 2:09.8. Amoeba still setting a 2:10.2. Chavez, with a 2:12 still, knocked off 8 tenths, a good improvement. Oliver was not able to improve on that lap. Mailman with a big improvement with a 2:14. Or somebody's off the track. I believe that is Mailman possibly retiring from qualifying. Pop back on with Amoeba, who is now a second down from second place. Oh, does he have... Okay, it looked like he may have been slow through there. It may have been just the accidental... Harder too. Okay, I'll... That's my bad. I butchered the woohoo! Amoeba getting a little slidey there. It's really easy to tap that wall. Hopefully he doesn't give it a little bit too much of a shunt. It could be easy to get damage there, but also these cars are pretty tanky. They're Swedish engineering. I feel like Volvos, it's either there's 2 Volvos. There's the one Volvos that are going to last you years. The engines are bricks. They're built really well. And then there's like a set of Volvos that will just crash. Like, I don't know, they don't last very long, it seems. I don't know if that's a trend with just modern cars, or... Anywho. These are race cars, they're not meant to go super long distances. We're about to... Oh, Amoeba getting a little bit Tokyo Drifty there. We're about to round out another lap of hot laps for the top 3. We'll have to see how this mixes things up. Is Sunshine going to be able to improve on that? Oh, it looked like he may have made a mistake there. I could be completely wrong. The camera angle is a little rough. Let's see, is Is Sunshine able to improve? It doesn't look like by much. Amoeba not able to improve by much either. Yeah, Sunshine set a 2:10 that last lap. 0.3 slower. Anons was able to knock off very little, about half a tenth. Chavez, a little bit slower that time with a 2:13, fortunately. Oliver knocking off 0.8 of their previous lap. That's not bad. And Mailman with no improvement. I think that was the last possible lap of the qualifying session. So we're going to wait for the timer to come out. I guess Amoeba is just going to run laps, because why not? If you have the opportunity to run practice laps, you might as well. And Amoeba is a great driver to watch, because he has great lines. Great driver across the board. And it showed that in his performances in TFG. And I think that's the session rounding out. And that is qualifying over for race number 6 of the TFG final of the Volvo Touring Car Spec Championship. Now let's look at the final results. Well, these are not in order properly, but we can look at the best times. And wow, look at the difference between Sunshine and Anonymous's best laps there. Half a tenth. No, less than half a tenth splitting them. That is an impressive gap between first and second. This is going to be definitely an interesting battle for the top 2. Even top 3 if Amoeba is able to hang on there. He's not far off the pace, but does seem to be struggling a little bit. Like a few tenths is going to make a difference. Anyway, let's go through the grid. On pole is Mr. Sunshine with his first appearance in this championship. On second, finishing out the first row, is OTR Nons, Anonymous. And third, starting the second row, is LMP Amoeba. And fourth, on the second row as well, is Chavez. And for the final row, we have in fifth, Oliver. And holding up the rear is Mailman to finish off the third and final row of the final race, the TFG Championship. We'll be right back once the race is set up. Alright, and here we go for the final race of the TFG Championship, Volvo TC Spec. I said that out of order, but we're still going to roll with it. We'll hop on board with Sunshine for the formation lap. Here we go. This is the final race of the championship. We're going to be grueling through a rough 20 laps of Bathurst here. We'll see how this goes. Now I feel like this is going to be a lot less grueling as Rio, due to the fact that we'd have less lap counts. So if there's a safety car, we're gonna be under safety car for a lot longer than we were last time. Alright, and here we go. We can see all these little Volvos running around for their little formation laps, warming up their little tires. They're such cute little race cars. It's kind of like the Civics hatchback touring cars. They're kind of adorable. You know what would be a really fun, like, spec championship to do? Is if they brought back the Chevy Spark. That thing was so small and was such a fun car to drive in Forza Motorsport 7. 4. It was in 4. I don't remember if it was in any of the other games. I don't know why I said 7. It's definitely not in 7, or else we would have done a specs championship on it. Such a cute little car, but it feels like it'd be really fun to whip around. Oh, we already have some contact with the wall, and we're only under formation lap. So we'll see how this plays out. Sunshine and Amoeba and Anon's not in any place to contest the championship at all. But hey, they're showing up and they're going to give us a good show, hopefully. The main fight we got to keep an eye on is between Oliver, Amoeba, and I believe Chavez is going to be able to hold down his position pretty easily in third here for the overall championship. Mailman has an opportunity if he finishes to move up some places, I believe, in the points. Yeah, pretty much. That's our grid. It's not a very big grid tonight, so that means either things are going to be really chill or it's going to be really close up and really, really crazy. Oh, Mailman running wide a little bit in the background there. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage. Oh, Oliver almost with a wall strike there. We'll call it a drift tap. Anons is antsy to get going, almost going side by side with Sunshine down the back straight. They're doubling up now. This seems really early to double up. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, it only looked like they were doubling up. Alright, through the final sector, basically, of the racetrack. We're probably going to be double wide out of the chicane or out of the final corner. We'll see here. Yeah, we're double wide and we're getting ready to start the final race of the TFG, Volvo's Touring Cup. We'll have to see how this goes. This is going to be an interesting race for sure as we're on board with Sunshine, who is starting on the left side, the inside, here into turn number 1. Down the front straight, it looks like the back row is not fully set up yet, but it looks like Mailman might be purposely hanging back, and they're starting staggered. They're not supposed to be starting staggered, I don't believe. But here we go. We are green at Bathurst for the final race of the TFG Volvo Spec Touring Cup, and Chavez looked to have gotten a little late on the brakes there, got a little antsy there, almost got into the back of LMP Amoeba. It looked like they had a good gap, though. Non's not getting the best run as he wished, as Sunshine starts to pull a gap there, but top 3 all in the draft. We have Sunshine, Anons, and Amoeba going up into the hill section now, with Chavez followed by Oliver. Hard on the brakes here. No huge movements in the front pack. Oliver staying a little bit far behind Chavez there. Sorry. I think everybody's held position so far. A little bit of wall strikes we can hear from the cars behind. Everybody's staying in position. With a fast sweeping right-hander. And then the downhill, a little downhill dip left. It's really demanding of the car. Anon's catching up to Sunshine a little bit there. Goes getting closer to the bumper. Oh, Sunshine with a bit of a sim twitch there. Was able to keep it under control. So we're about to hit the crest. This is a really tricky technical part of the track, and it's real easy to lose time or real easy to gain time. It's real easy to also send your car into a wall, as we have Sunshine, Anons, and Amoeba handling that section of the track beautifully. Anon's getting a little bit closer here. It's kind of hard to tell if the gap's really coming down, because it's impossible to pass through the mountain section almost. And Anon's going to lose a little bit of time there. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it up on the run down the back straight here. In the draft, Amoeba dropping back a little bit through the mountain section. It looks like everybody's stayed in their positions so far through this first lap. A little chaotic going into turn 1, but still everybody's been very clean. We might see some action at the back of the grid there between Chavez. Now that I'm overthinking about it, I'm going to mispronounce the name every time. Chavez and Mailman and Oliver in the back there might be able to duke it out. Might be some movement going back there. It looks like Oliver is making a move on Chavez. Towards the end of the lap, we'll hop on board with that battle as we see Amoeba getting on the back of Anons here. On board with Oliver and Chavez as they come through the final lap. Looks like Oliver is able to get the position. And does Chavez have damage? Because Mailman's on the attack now. As they go into turn number 1. Any damage? No damage. Looks like he may have made a mistake or something in that final sector. Mailman's able to catch up to Chavez. Now he's going to be in the draft down the first set of straightaways as we hop on board with... actually, that was really close. Mailman trying to go to the inside here. It's really difficult to pass into this corner because depending on what your line you take is going to depend on how the rest of the line... Where did my pen go? I had a pen. Here we go, side by side. And Chavez is going to get on the brakes a little later. He's going to be able to cut it off. But Mailman's going to contest the inside still. It's going to stay there. Chavez is going to have to go wide. It takes the racing line there. Chavez is going to have the inside towards the section. It's going to get a little dicey, a little bit of wall contact. Mailman's going to successfully get past. But, Chavez is going to try it on the outside and gets it on the outside. Incredible move by Chavez. He's able to push as much grip out of that car as he can. Back on board with the top 3. Amoeba seems to have backed away from Anons. Ooh, Amiibo with a heavy wall strike there. We'll hop back on board with Chavez to make sure everything's going well. This battle for last and fifth. Well, it looks like Mailman sent it pretty hard into that corner and is going to lose a little bit of time. Is still in the is still within a second, so still able to contest it, sliding a little bit on the downhill section there. Really easy to get loose. Chavez about 2 seconds away from Oliver now. We'll have to see if Chavez is able to catch up to Oliver. Huge slide from Chavez in the tire wall. Well, I don't think there's any damage there, but that's going to be a huge thorn in his side for his run down the back straight here as we hop on board with, well, not on board, but the bottom left you can see the times between the top three. A second splitting Sunshine and Anons. Excuse me. And a second splitting Amoeba and Anons. Less than a second now. Just 0.9, 0.8. We might have to hop on with Amoeba here in a minute. Oh, Chavez runs super deep into that chicane. Is going to have to go all the way around the tire wall, and that's going to lose a position there for sure. That's really unfortunate. Oh, wait. What happened? Did Mailman? Nah, Mailman made it. Okay. Top and board with the top three now as that battle dies down for now. We'll have to see if Chavez is able to make a comeback drive like he did in Yas Marina. We've seen it happen before, and he looked like he was catching up to Oliver down the mountain. It looks like Anons has dropped back from Sunshine's draft. I'm not sure how far exactly the draft extends in this game, but it looks like he's just out of reach. Looks like Amoeba might be in an Anons draft now. Let's see how this plays out. Whoa, wow. That's as close as you can physically get to the wall there. Great driving from the top three here. Great driving from everyone across the grid so far as we're still green at Mount Panorama. Lap 4 out of 21. It's really 20 if you just don't include the... Did I misspeak? What did I say? Still in the what? What does that mean? Are you trying to make a joke? I'm genuinely not. I genuinely don't remember what I said. About equal time splitting the top three now. They're about their gaps are equivalent to each other. That's so cool. Well, almost equivalent. It's like Amoeba's gonna get Anons is gonna get a little bit closer to Sunshine here on the downhill section, but it's so easy to lose time. It's so easy to gain time anywhere. Wow, getting as close as you can. A little bit of sparks hopping off of Anon's car there. He's trying to run down Sunshine into the back straight. Amoeba now looks to be a little bit out of the draft. It's kind of hard to tell. And it looks like Anons might be in Sunshine's draft. If so, just barely. He's not gaining much from it. On the brake, Sunshine with a bit of a lockup. Is he still gonna make the corner? And yes, he did make the corner, but he's gonna lose a little bit of time to Anons here. 0.7 splitting them apart. To go into the final corner, rounding out lap number 4 to start lap number 5. That's what you said. Still. Oh! My bad, I did not mean to say that. I speak too fast a little bit. Another little lockup from the front left of Sunshine there, going into turn number 1. The consistency between the top three right now is really showing. Amoeba seems to just barely be off their pace. If Amoeba is able to get it back in the draft, I believe he might be able to catch up to them. But we'll have to see. Another big lockup from Sunshine. I guess it wasn't that big, but he's starting to toast those front tires a little bit, I'd imagine. The Amoeba now within a second. Anons within... Wow, bringing that gap a little bit down. He runs a little bit wide there, though. And no wall strike. It looks like Sunshine did not get the ideal exit. Within half a second now, Anons is getting a huge run on Sunshine. Sunshine possibly made a big mistake there. It was kind of hard to see, and Sunshine's going to get a little bit of a I can't speak. We're just going to focus on it. Point 2 into the downhill dip. Are they going to be? Is Anons going to send it? Anons is going to try. Whoa, looked like it was going to try to be a send, but Anons is going to keep on the bumper there, and Anons is going to get slowed up, and Amoeba is going to catch up into this fight for the top 3 as we're going down the hill. Onto the long straightaway, still right there, Anons on the bumper of Sunshine. Who's going to get the better run onto the back straight is the question. It looks like Anons has a good run, and Amoeba has a decent run too, staying within that. These gaps are pretty consistent as we go. Now Sunshine and Anons are going to get a pretty good draft They come down to the kink. Amoeba's slowly losing that draft, it looks like. Non's looking for a move, not going to find it, but Sunshine's going to have a little bit of a lockup. They're both going to make the corner, though. It's a really difficult passing place in these cars. Non's within almost a tenth now. It's going to try and squeeze on the right side. Sunshine's going to give him just barely a car's width, and that's going to slow all of them down. And Amoeba's in the midst. The top three are back together within half a second of each other as we go into turn number 1. No funny business yet, but I suspect funny business, chicanery, and shenanigans are going to come down during this race as we're lap 6 out of 21 so far. The top three are all within a second. Everyone's kept it clean. This is some great driving here. We come to start to climb the hill again. This fast sweeping right-hander, Nons is going to have a good run. Looks to have to lift a little bit to keep it out of the wall there. This is going to be an intense fight up the hill. A little bit of contact between Amoeba and Anons is going to mean Amoeba's going to get a less ideal line there. But still almost within half a second here. It's going to fall back a little bit. As long as he can come back into the draft, he'll probably be okay. And as long as Anons is being slowed and slowing down Sunshine. Whoa, both! Almost everyone there with a pretty hefty wall strike. I don't think it's enough to cause any damage, though. So we're coming to the crest to begin the downhill section. Whoa, very fast, very technical, as we've said before. And everybody's kept it clean through here. Amoeba with a little bit of a slide, trying to push as hard as he can to keep up with the pack, because he knows if he loses them now, it's going to be very hard to catch back up to them. Down, it's all about the run out of this corner, trying to get as much of a run onto the long straightaway as you can. And I think Amoeba's just going to be barely in a Non's draft here. We'll have to see. Looks like Sunshine got a pretty good run, about a 10th gain there. It's still really early on in the race, so no pressure, but I believe, you know, when you're so close to somebody and you can't get by them, it's a little frustrating. Sunshine with another lockup into the chicane here, but it makes the corner. Still within half a second as they go to round out lap number 6 to start lap number 7. Not too much action, but still, like, they're so close to one another. It's something's bound to happen. It's still bound to be a fight. A lockup from Sunshine into turn 1. As they go down the front straight. Amoeba seems to be holding onto that draft just barely. It's not benefiting Amoeba that much because Anons is also benefiting from the draft from Sunshine, but actually he brought down a 10th in that straightaway. See how this plays out into this fast right-hander sweeper. The time doesn't say everything, you know. If we watch that split super strictly, we're not going to be able to see everything. But it does look like Amoeba is going to fall back a little bit from a wall strike there. We'll have to see if he has any damage, if he's going to drop off the pace. Ruining one run out of a corner here can be detrimental to your pace. If the guy ahead of you is hitting it perfectly every time, and you mess up, you're going to lose a lot of time. And it looks like Anons made a little bit of a mistake there. Tried to gas it a little early by getting a... Whoa! Huge wall strike from Amoeba back there. Hop on with Amoeba to see if there's any damage. That was very hefty. No damage. That car is a brick, but it's going to lose a lot of time, unfortunately, to the top 3. I have no doubt in my mind if the top 3 start battling, though, he'll be able to come back into contention. This race is still just beginning. Anons dropping almost to dropping a second back from Sunshine now. And Amoeba a second back from Anons. Update the grid. It's been pretty static so far. Sunshine, Anons, Amoeba, Oliver, Chavez. Oh, Mailman. Oh yeah, Mailman, Chavez. My bad. Oh, Anons is going to run it a little bit deep there. Might lose a little bit of time, but it looks like Sunshine also got a pretty hefty lockup. Sunshine seems to be struggling a little bit in these heavy braking zones, but I mean, he's getting the car turned in, so I don't know if he's really struggling. Now Nons is going to be a little bit under threat here from Amoeba, but Amoeba's going to make a mistake and run a little bit wide out of the final corner. It's really easy to catch that grass there, and that grass there is going to slow you down pretty significantly. It looks like he lost 3/10 there as he pulled into 0.9 seconds between Anons. Now here's the interesting thing. Now they're going to start losing draft as the gaps are getting a bit wider here. They're going to have to really, it's all going to be about technical skill. And it looks like, unfortunately, Chavez is going to have a little bit of a rough race there in the back. Seems to have had a few mistakes and has fallen back. Well, there's still time to see if there's a recovery drive. So we saw at Rio, he came back all the way at the end. Had an incredible drive. Same with the Asmarina. Unfortunately, throwing it away towards the end. Oliver's still having a good, pretty good drive here. I don't think even myself would be anywhere near competitive with these top three. But is showing some pretty good pace and is keeping pretty good distance from Mailman. And is not too far from the top three right now. Now a second, less than a second, just barely, between the top three, all splitting them apart. Non slowly reeling in Sunshine. Sunshine is probably feeling pretty confident. Ooh, Sunshine must have made a mistake there because the Nons is all over Sunshine coming down the hill. Well, within half a second now, Amoeba's going to lose out a little bit. Or Anons just had a great lock up from Sunshine into the sweeping downhill left corner. That's a really rough corner to get right because your car really wants to run wide, but you have to keep it turned in and get it exactly right to get that exit, to get as much straight line speed as possible without, breaking your car on the exit wall. It's really tricky because the cambering of the corner too, car just wants to pull out wide, and if not tuned correctly, it's going to be a little rough. Half a second between Anonymous and Sunshine. So they're ending lap 8 here, going on to lap 9. They're falling back a little bit from the top two here, but still pretty close to contesting. He's out of the draft, though, so that might be a big thing. Depending on how he has his car set up, it could affect him two different ways. It could be a huge effect, or it could be a little effect, depending on how he has his aero set up. But I imagine most of these cars are running a min-max or a max-max setup. I'm not exactly sure. It could be zero aero. I'm not sure how insane these top three are, but for their pace tonight, they could be running some really weird builds. Still half a second splitting them, Nons and Sunshine, as they're coming up the hill once again. We saw how close those times were in qualifying. We gotta just imagine how difficult it is going to be for Nons to pass Sunshine here, as their pace is so close. They take almost identical lines. Ooh, Sunshine skipping the curb a little bit there. Hopefully didn't lose any pace from that. Amoeba dropping 2 seconds back now. Definitely out of the draft. Nons looks to have got a better run out of there. I think Sunshine got a little bit tangled with the wall there. And Nons is going to back off as he was running a little bit too close there. That would have been a little sketchy through the downhill bit. This part of the track is just send it. As soon as you get the car rotating correctly, you're flooring it all the way down. It's almost all the way. So you get to the downhill left here before the straightaway. Both striking the wall a little bit, leaving some paint there. Beautiful stuff. Looks like Anons may have gotten a run. It's kind of close to tell. Sunshine's also going to be benefiting from the bump draft if he gets too close, which is going to negatively affect Anons. It's going to be a net neutral, basically. I don't think Anons is going to be close to send it. He's going to try and look on the outside. Oh, a bit of a lockup from Anons there, but was able to make the corner still, right on the bumper of Sunshine. Come out to start lap 10, almost, through the final corner. Mila catching up a little bit, making up some time after losing, going down to 2-second gap there. Harden the brakes into turn 1. 4/10 split Anons and Sunshine. 3/10 now. Split them apart. And Amoeba's going to make a big mistake coming out of turn 1. He's going to get caught up in the grass, unfortunately. Trying to captivate as much as he can on the exit of turn 1, as it's really easy to try and catch that curb. But he caught the grass instead, and the grass is going to pull out that car really easily because these Volvos are pretty light. He's going to lose a lot of time there. He's up to about 2-second gap now. Let's see. See if he's able to pull it in. 10 laps of the 21. Not too much action so far. It's been real close. Anons has probably been working for a few laps to try and set this up, because look how close he's able to get to Sunshine in this section of the track. within 1/10. Oh, he's going to run real wide. He's going to get a hefty wall strike there. That's going to slow him down, and Amoeba's going to get up in here. Is he taking any damage from that wall strike? Luckily, no. That was pretty hard to the rear quarter panel there. The rear right. He's going to lose almost 2 seconds to Sunshine now, and Amoeba is going to be back into the fight, possibly. Now this plays out. We're about halfway now. I think at the end of this lap, we'll technically be halfway, minus the formation lap. It looks like OTR Anons was able to recover a little bit. Only 1.2 second gap now. Still pretty hefty, and Amoeba did not capitalize on that as much as I thought he would, but still within 2 seconds now, which is a big improvement after that turn 1 incident. Here's the question, is tires going to play a factor? I haven't actually asked around, but no, I don't think tires are going to be a factor here. They might get a little worn towards the end, but I don't think people are going to be required to pit. It's been a really fun championship. It's been interesting to start commentating over the NBR races. Really glad I started doing this. For those who want to race me still, I will be racing in external events or NBR special events that don't need commentary when necessary, or events that need to for attendance purposes. But I'm no longer racing in NBR. Not because I don't want to, not because I don't like to, it's just because I'd like to focus on the administrative side of things, working commentary, social media, and all that fun stuff. And so that I can focus on my racecraft elsewhere with more competitive fields. Not that this group is not competitive, it's just that if I race in Tora, I'm more likely to be able to improve my racecraft than if I'm in the middle of nowhere here for a little bit. Still, been lots of fun here, and I will be racing as much as possible in other leagues. Shout out to SRL. I'll try not to miss any of their enduros, and shout out to EMC and Tora. Those are other places I'll be racing. However, I am basically retiring from NBR racing. However, I will still be hosting events, running commentary, and all that fun sorts. And if you're interested in joining NBR, the community, or to race, go down below to the description or the banner on Twitch and check out our Discord. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ace. However, I think I'll be racing in the special events, so the last tour I'll do. Update on the current race standings. Anons has pulled the gap into less than a second now, about 8/10 split him. Amoeba has fallen back to 2.4 seconds, unfortunately, and the race order has not really changed. As exciting as this race has been, it's been really chill, and Mailman's in the pits. This could be interesting. I think he's just exiting the pits, or he's just entering. We'll have to see how that mixes up the fight. In the rear of the pack, I don't think Chavez is going to be close enough to make that pass. He's in the pits. Oh, Non's got a really good run up the hill there. Almost half a second splitting Anons and Sunshine. We're 12 laps in. Anons is going to have to make a move on Sunshine at some point if he's going to want to make this pass happen. On the downhill part, losing a little bit of time, but it's nothing significant. Well, it looks like he lost a mirror there on the downhill, or somebody did. Saw some type of debris floating around. On the brakes hard. Come down the left-hander. The start, the back straight. Big wall strike there. It's going to keep it on the track. Now Nons is going to have the benefit of the draft. This might close the gap a little bit. We'll have to see. I don't think the draft is that huge. It's probably about a 10th in these cars, but we'll have to see. On the brakes hard into the chicane. Coming around to round out lap number 12 to start lap number 13. Nons getting even closer to Sunshine's bumper here. Breaks through turn 1, a big lockup from Sunshine. It looks like Anon lost a 10th there with turn 1. Here we go up the hill. Fast sweeping right-hander, really demanding corner on these cars. It's a really fun corner too, it's really fast and you can floor it almost mid-corner in most cars. As long as you get your line right, you're going to be smooth sailing all the way through that corner. Look how close Anons is able to keep with Sunshine here. Anons seems to have a much better line through this section of the track. And is going to be able to get a much better line. I think this is where Anons is going to have to send it. It's going to be a really rough spot here, and he's going to try and send it as hard as he can through that left-hand kink, which is really difficult because the wall on the outside. And look how close he is. Is he going to send it at the crest here? Looks like he might be trying to set up something. No, he's not going to have enough room. He's going to get his nose shut off, but he's right on the bumper. Sunshine has to go down the hill. This tight sweeping section, this tight S's, it's really fun part of the track. It's not an easy part to pass at though, but he's so close. He's gonna dive to the inside at the bottom of the hill. He's gonna try and push Sunshine wide there, but there's nowhere for Sunshine to go wide. He's gonna keep it on the inside, and they're gonna keep. He's gonna back off a little bit there, and he's gonna lose. He didn't gain the position, so I guess he didn't lose anything, but. He's on the attack now, as you can see where he's looking. He's looking around. He's going to try and send it here. Hard in the brakes into the chicane. It's going to be a little bit of a punt. Oh, they're both going to make the turn. It looks like Anons was a little bit later on the brakes, and Sunshine got a bit of a lockup there. But Anons going to capitalize on both their mistakes going wide here as they go into the final corner. Sunshine's going to take to the defensive line, giving cars width on the outside, and might run a little bit deep. And Anons is going to try and get the switchback moving. It doesn't look like he's going to be successful. But he does have a little bit of a run in. Wow! Sunshine pulling off a Mike Schumacher, throwing Anons all the way to that pit wall there. Which is legal. He made the one move and one move back, which is absolutely legal. Right on the bumper here, and look at Amoeba's time coming down slowly. If these two keep battling like this, Amoeba's going to get into the mix, and it's going to get really interesting. Great defense from Sunshine. Great attack from Anons, just unfortunately was unable to make it stick so far. But look how close it is, and look how close Amoeba's getting in here. Man, if Anons wants to keep this position from Sunshine and Amoeba, he's going to have to attack very soon as we're running out of laps. It's lap 14, we're running out of race. Here we go, here's the part of the track where Anons is super good, and he's going to get a little bit onto the bumper there. A little bit touchy-touchy between Sunshine and Anons. There might have comments after the race for that. And look, Amoeba's getting into the mix here. Really close. This is now a battle for the top three. Once again, we're back. The top three and their shenanigans as they crest the hill here. Anons is not going to be close enough to make a move. It's really hard to send it through there. You got to be already side by side, basically. But we'll see if he's able to try and pull that move he did at the bottom of the hill here again this lap. He's just as close almost. And we'll see if Sunshine's able to shut that door. Looks like Sunshine does shut that door, but Anons is going to try and go for a better run out of the corner. We'll see how this plays out as we have a long straightaway ahead of us now. Amoeba seems to be out of the draft slightly, or Anons and Sunshine are both getting benefited from the bump draft a little bit more than Amoeba's getting from that single draft. And another lockup, and Anons is going to get a little close there. Wow, and they both made the corner. Beautiful driving from the two of them. This is a wonderful battle to witness. We round out lap number 15 of 21 here, the final corner. Beautifully from all drivers in the top three here. I know it seems like we've been kind of hogging Anons for the camera, but it's been the closest battle this entire race. That's what we do here at NBR. We try to focus on the closest battle, and if there aren't any battles, we'll go around the cameras a little bit. But this has been the closest battle all race so far. See how this plays out. Still within 3/10 of Sunshine as we begin to go up the hill. Amoeba falling back a little bit more, but if they get a little racy here, we can probably see Amoeba come back into the fight. Now Sunshine's going to start feeling that pressure from Anons. Anons getting a good run out of that fast right-hand sweeper. Got a good run out of the corner. Gonna go on the inside around Sunshine, try and get past Sunshine. He's gonna get a little bit loose on the exit. It's gonna lose his run, but look how close he is still. He still has a great amount of traction. Both drivers handling that corner great. And Anon's gonna try and send it up on the inside there, but does not. He was trying to put a nose up, and it looks like Sunshine got a little bit tangled in the wall there as Amoeba is getting into the fray once more. Come to the crest here. It is still anyone's battle for first here. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch from Sunshine. I was getting a little sketchy. Look how close the top three are once more. Oh, OTR Anons getting a little bit into the bumper. Looked like he might have tried to swing it left there. And LMP Amoeba was trying to get, looks like may have been trying to get a better run, but unfortunately, oh, it did play off a little bit. This group is super tight. We'll have to see how this plays out. That's what she said. Anyways. Okay, and whoa, Anon's looking up on the outside there, trying to get past Sunshine. He's gonna try and send it out around the outside in the chicane. This is a real tough corner. Both are gonna make it on the brakes, but are gonna slow each other down in the process of taking off lines there. And look how much pressure Anons is putting on Sunshine as they coming up to lap traffic. Lap traffic. This is gonna get interesting. Might get a little bit hairy. I think they're gonna get it at the perfect time before they come up the hill, luckily. But it's gonna throw a wrench in somebody's plans. Sunshine's going on the defensive, and he's going to try and push. Oh, he's going to push all the way to the wall. Anons put up a nose there and was there. And while Sunshine came across his nose, and Amoeba is going to come into the mix here. And Amoeba is going to go past Sunshine on the front straight. Sunshine making a little bit of a mistake, going too defensive there. And OTR Anonymous is going to take first position for now on lap 16. And Amoeba is going to try and go up on the inside of Anons into the fast right-hand sweeper. And Amoeba leads the race. For now, so they're coming up the lap traffic, and one of the most, this is going to be really stressful as they're coming up the lap traffic up the hill. Now the slower of the three is in front. We'll have to see how this plays out, because it might pack Anons and Sunshine together. Or are Anons and Sunshine going to be able to handle themselves as Amoeba gets a little bit into the wall there? Able to keep it together. Sunshine getting on the back of Anons. Going to try and go around the outside. No, there's no room to there. He's going to get a little bit tangled up with the wall. Anons with another twitch. Getting real twitchy. On board with Amoeba. As we're finding lap traffic at the crest. This is going to get really hairy here. I think the best thing to do here while you're getting lap traffic on the downhill section here is just wait it out. I don't think there's a real good enemy. And Anons is going to get in the wall there. Amoeba might actually catch him at the perfect time, and wow, ooh, big wall strikes there from the two, second and third place. Amoeba's going to have a bit of a gap here as Sunshine and Anons are going to get past Chavez very easily. There, I thought this was going to get a little bit more stressful. Still, there is lap traffic up the road, as we can see on the mini-map in the top left. So we're going to hop back on with Sunshine and Anons. This is still the closest battle. And Amoeba is going to run away a little bit with the lead here. We'll have to see how this plays out with these upcoming laps. We're running out of track. This is where the drivers are going to start getting aggressive. They're really aggressive at the start and really aggressive at the end. Looks like Sunshine made a little bit of a mistake there. 1 second between Amoeba and Anons, and about another second between Anons and Sunshine. No, it's not where if you're in third all race and finished last, that's what matters, is that finishing position. And I think Amoeba might be able to pull this off if he's able to defend against Anon and Sunshine. And what would actually be a really good strat for Amoeba is to slow up Anons and Sunshine into each other so they start duking it out. But wow, first is now third is now first, and second has not moved anywhere. What an interesting turn of events we've had at Bathurst tonight for the final race of the TFG Volvo Spec Cup. Looks like Anons is making up time slowly on Amoeba here. "17 out of 21 laps. The race is coming to an end. A lot faster than we can imagine. That means they're running out of track. Each lap you pass is time and miles that you miss out on. Ooh, and Amoeba's going to get a little squirrely through the downhill section, and it's going to allow Anons to catch up a lot there. Wow, Amoeba got really loose. I'm curious if he's running a very little low arrow in the rear. Looked to not get a very good exit either, as Anons is going to be right there as we're coming around towards the chicane, towards the final sector of the track. 0.3 split Amoeba and Anons. And looks like Sunshine's also catching up a bit here too. Runs the brakes into the chicane. No chicanery yet. No shenanigans yet. Everything's been pretty clean. Running out lap number 7. And look how close Anons is getting to Amoeba. Down the start-finish straight into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. And on to the front straight. These long straightaways really encourage close racing, because if you're not close at the end of the hill section, you're not going to be able to follow somebody and pass him at the end of the back straightaway. Also, it looks like Sunshine. Oh, Amoeba's getting really loose there, or drifted that. That was a beautiful camera angle for that. But this also means Anons is on his bumper, and looked like he was going to try something there, but had no room. Oh, and Amoeba's getting a little bit loose. Anons is going around the outside. Sunshine also getting into the battle here. Uh-oh, here we go. This is where things get a little interesting. The pack is grouped up again, just like they were once before. Let's see if anything happens here. And with Anons, who stayed in the middle here, stayed second almost all race. Looks like Sunshine ran a little wide back there, lost a little bit of time. Downhill section. Wow, and anytime Sunshine lost there, he's making it back up right here as they come to the final corner of the downhill section. Hard on the brakes. Ooh, Anons trying to shove it up the inside. Amoeba's going to give room. And oh, everyone's striking the wall there. That was pretty rough. Anons now on the attack. Down the back straight towards the chicane. Sunshine was once leading this race, is now in third. Is running out of time to make positions back up. Onto the brakes. Anons putting pressure on Amoeba as he knows. I believe Anon knows he's quicker, but Amoeba's not that much slower. As long as Amoeba's able to stay in front and defend well, it's going to be very hard for Anons to pass. It's difficult to pass at Bathurst. Sunshine getting a little wide there. Looks like he's getting a little desperate for pace. He's coming to turn 1. Very clean drive for everyone. Anons going to get a little bit wide and touch the grass there. Kick up a little bit of a smoke screen for Sunshine. Lap 19 of 21. It's all coming down to the wire here. Back up the hill once more. Oh, Amoeba with a big wall strike. That's going to allow Anons to have a much better run out of the corner. He's going to be on the inside. Anons taking the lead of the race for now. Amoeba's going to go wide into this sweeping left-hander, and Amoeba's going to slide in right behind. Anons now leading this race, but for how long, we'll have to see. Amoeba falls back a little bit. Very nice move. Now Amoeba's going to be under threat of Sunshine. They know Sunshine's going to be egging to get that first position back from Anons. After the crest, a bit of a wall strike there from Amoeba, catching up to Anons very slightly. Whoa, a huge! Wow, that was a big twitch from Sunshine back there. I don't know if you all caught that. I'm surprised he caught that. That was impressive. Great driving. Just see how much they're putting their cars on the edge here. Now Anonymous is pulling away from Amoeba in first position. Still pretty similar gaps between second and first and second and third here. Both 7/10, 7 to 8/10. As we're about to begin the penultimate lap of the finale of the TFG Volvo Spec Championship race at Bathurst. Whoa, and there's a little bit of an upset there. What happened there? I looked away for 2 seconds. Did Amoeba just get... Yeah, I think Amoeba and our Nons just got a little bit of grass there. It wasn't a big deal. It's the penultimate lap. And we have lap traffic coming out of the pits. Looks like Mailman pitted at the perfect time to not interfere at that battle. That was perfect. And here we go. Anon's pulling farther away from LMP Amoeba. Now a second split them. Anything can still happen. There could be a massive wreck. There could be a safety car. Who knows? We're coming down to the wire here. There's no safety car cutoff at NBR. So there could be a last lap safety car. And this could be the finishing positions. Or, who knows? Anons could wreck. We're all sitting on the edge of our seats to see how this one ends. They're keeping pretty consistent now. They're pretty far away from each other, but they still have one more lap to go after this. About a second splitting them apart now. Down the crest we go here. Amoeba running really wide there is going to lose a bit of time now. Sunshine's going to be on the attack within half a second of Amoeba here. When they reach the bottom of the hill here, they're just pushing so hard. They're just tapping these walls as close as they can. Sunshine on the attack, coming into the final lap here at Bathurst. Anon's pulling 2 seconds from Amoeba now. It is all coming down to this. What an awesome race so far. Still one lap to go. And the white flag will probably be waving any second soon for Anons, as he is going to cross the start-finish line to start the final lap of the final race of the TFG Volvo Spec Championship. And here we go. We're on the final lap. This is the final attempt. The final, just final drive and go. Make it home. But it's not just so easy for Amoeba and Sunshine, as they are within they're close. They're getting close. I'm losing words to describe this battle. In 3/10 now, putting on the pressure. Last lap is where things start to go haywire. So far, it looks like Anons may have secured this win. It's hard to tell though, as there's a lot of track left. It looks like Amoeba got a less than ideal run out of the left sweeper there. It's not going to make too big of a difference. Beautiful through there. We're about to approach the crest, and Sunshine is getting closer. Point 2, closing in on Amoeba. Down the hill they go. The really technical bits. It's where you can lose or gain a lot of time. Looks like Amoeba is... Oh, Amoeba makes a mistake. He's going to run wide. He's going to run the wall. And Sunshine is going to get... Sunshine's going to get around. Onto the final time they're going to get to the back straight here. Is Amoeba going to be able to make that position up? That tiny little slide, that tiny little loosening of the rear end. Making them run wide and get a less ideal run down the hill. Sunshine just threaded the needle there. That was perfect. You couldn't have asked for a more perfect pass. As we come into the final chicane, Anon's rounding out this race to secure first position. We'll see if Amoeba here is going to make a dive towards the inside. Oh, Amoeba sends it! Amoeba sends it on the inside! He's gonna try and make it on the inside. He's gonna make the pass, but it looks like Sunshine edges him out towards the end. And Sunshine is going to secure second position with Amoeba right there. Within 3/10 of a second. What a finish! That was a very nice last-ditch effort from Amoeba, trying to send it on the inside there. I think Sunshine wasn't going to try and go defensive because he knew Amoeba wouldn't get the run out of the final corner. And there is our top three finishers so far. OTR Anonymous, Sunshine in second, Amoeba in third, as we hop on with TJT Oliver, our amazing host for this league, who's going to secure fourth here and looks to have secured a second position in the overall championship standings. Congrats to our finishers so far. We have Millman and Chavez, who still need to finish this race. I believe they were both lapped. We got a 30-second gap to Chavez right now. I believe they still have another lap to go, so we'll be on board for this. What a drive from our top three. What a drive from everybody. We managed to come home to finish Bathurst still green. That is an achievement within itself. Oh, and here come the AI. Hopefully he doesn't get wrecked by the AI. That's a really unfortunate thing to happen. It happened last race. Oh, and Mailman is absolutely going to pit Amoeba into the tire barrier. We love Forza AI. The Mailman has secured fifth position. Now we're waiting on Chavez to finish here, and it looks like he's about to finish his lap here. And that is going to wind down and complete the Volvo TFG Spec Championship. We'll go to our provisional race results, and we may be able to see the championship provisional finished final results after the post-race interviews, if Oliver's able to update that quickly. We'll see. But anyways, our provisional results currently: coming home to finish first at Bathurst is OTR Anonymous, followed closely behind for the top three. Second, LL Mr. Sunshine. Third, LMP Amoeba. Fourth, TJT Oliver. Fifth, Mailman. And sixth, Chavez. Thank you all for watching the race. Stay tuned for post-race interviews. Anons, congrats on the win at Bathurst. That was a great battle between you, Sunshine, and Amoeba. You were on Sunshine for so much of that race. It was almost frustrating to see you getting that door slammed on the start-finish straight, as you were going to have him into turn one, but that one little mistake by Sunshine allowed you to slip by. What are your thoughts and feelings about this whole race?
Well, I kind of guessed all the way that Sunshine had no aero compared to what I was running, because I'm running about slightly more than half front. So, yeah, it was a difficult one because I knew I was basically catching him in the braking zones in every corner, but out of the corners, because I had the front aero slowing me down. I couldn't do anything. He was just running away, even though I could go side by side with him or slightly ahead, he would get past again. So that was very frustrating until he tried to do the squeezing like too late, basically, and for too long, which basically got us to slightly forward the glue because my front end was there. and he just lit at the turn 1, but I wasn't expecting Amoeba to be that close and to literally just go back by doing a dive bomb on me at turn 2.
Mm-hmm. Man,
But yeah, it was a fun
Amoeba
race.
was with you guys every time you guys are battling. It was real fun to watch.
It was slightly
All right.
slower, but he was just there to pick up the pieces if there were any.
Yep, that consistency kept him through. All right, for our second, thank you for the interview. You're welcome to stay. We'll see you hopefully around at NBR. Next, Sunshine just swooping in second place towards the end there. Also having that upset from losing first position, holding that so long. What are your thoughts and feelings about this race?
Going sideways into a pit straight wall was definitely not PogChamp. But it was just it was a forced error, so kudos to Anonymous for that one. But otherwise, pretty happy with it, you know. I was able to stick with Amoeba at the end. I think the two of us are probably running the exact same tune at this point. So when he went in a little deep in the downhill section, I was able to be alongside him, and then props to Amoeba for not fighting it because he totally could have, and we could have both wrecked out there, and that would have been probably really good for view count, but not very fun either.
last lap wreck.
Yeah, but overall, solid race.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Daytona prototypes.
Oh yeah, forgot that's coming up. That's going to be interesting for the TFG Championship. Hope to see you all there, hopefully. And last but not least, certainly not last in the overall results, but Amoeba. What a race! You held in there the entire time. Like every time you'd fall back a little bit, they'd start battling, and then in the middle of the race, when Sunshine made that error, you shot up to first.
Yeah, never thought I'd get to the lead, but I just hung in there knowing that they were battling hard and knowing that if I got into the lead, I had a chance. You know, this isn't my favorite track. I'm not great at it, but I just knew I needed to be good enough. If something happened, I'd be there to pounce. And yeah, that was fun there to be able to pass them both and just made a couple mistakes that, well, and the stupid tire that got in the way. But anyway, mostly I could have been better, but props to them. We finished 1, 2, 3 in the order that we really should have. So yeah, it was a lot more fun than I was expecting.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. Unfortunate for that last lap mistake that allowed Sunshine through. Such a little thing on this track.
Yeah, that downhill section's rough, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that we were able to cleanly do that there. I wasn't push it at all. I knew I had a chance in the last corner and almost made it work, but couldn't quite get there.
Well, hey, we all made it to the end. That was Bathurst clean all the way through, which I think is a new record for us. I think every Bathurst race we've had at NBR has always ended up in a caution at some point.
Yeah, we all just kind of hit the wall once.
Yeah, but thankfully that Volvo is solid, and there are a few places where the car doesn't pick up any damage after hitting the wall, so it's fine.
That's true.
Everyone completed their mandatory wall tap of the race.
Yeah,
everyone got multiple wall taps.
Oh yeah, I counted every one of them. Yeah, thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope to see you guys in the future. I don't have the provisional championship result. Oh, talking to the stream now. You all are good to go, unless you have any final words you'd like to say.
Okay. Thanks,
I just shared my tune.
Ooh, cool. See you guys.
All right, peace out. All right. That wraps up the TFG Championship. I do not have the provisional results of the championship at this time. However, I do have the next championship that's coming up. A few things that's coming up in NBR. Some big stuff. This weekend we'll have the ALS Championship charity event. Well, charity championship that will be announced August 6th. Keep an eye out on our Twitter and our Discord for announcements for that. Qualifying will be opened for August 20th. We'll also have SCL BRZs tomorrow, 10 p.m. Be there, be square. And upcoming in the TFG Championship, we have Daytona Prototypes, which is going to be real fun. It's a spec championship just like before, and also it's going to start out with a really interesting race. SCE has another upcoming race, the 2.5 hours of Nürburgring Radical Spec race, which is going to be a crazy race to watch. I can tell you that for sure. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a spectacle, to say the least. And then that same weekend, at the end of the next month, is going to be the TFG first race, which is going to be a TFG and SCE combined event. It's going to be 1.5 hours of... I think it's going to be 1.5 hours. It's going to be Atlanta. You're going to be able to score points for the TFG Championship and be able to finalize the SCE Championship for the year of 2023 at NBR. Thank you all for watching. I'm Gabriel Woodward, and I'll be signing off.